Welcome to Tech in Translation, the podcast where we break down the complexities of today's most innovative technologies into something we can all understand.
Brought to you by Dell Technologies, a next-generation solutions provider. We're committed to helping our customers across the government, education, commercial, and healthcare sectors turn their tech challenges into real, actionable outcomes.
At Ironbow, we believe that technology should be a tool for empowerment, not a source of confusion.
That's why each episode of Tech in Translation is designed to demystify the latest trends, tools, and technologies, making them accessible for everyone, whether you're a seasoned professional or just tech curious.
Join us as we translate complex tech into everyday language, one episode at a time. Welcome back to Tech in Translation. I'm your host for today, Fran Alatrash Ukejofo, Director of Marketing Communications here at Ironbow. Let's get after it. AI is everywhere, powering your recommendations, helping detect fraud, and even improving customer service. But what many don't realize is that AI doesn't just run on software. It needs an entire infrastructure of powerful storage, compute, and networking to function at scale. Today, we're going beyond the algorithm to explore the hidden technology that makes AI possible. And to help us break it all down, I'm joined by Rhonda Johnson, North American Pre-Sales Engineering Leader at Dell Technologies. Rhonda leads teams helping organizations from businesses to government agencies build the right infrastructure for AI and emerging tech. Rhonda, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. To get started, for those of us who think of AI as just an app or chatbot, what's one thing they should understand about the infrastructure behind it?
Well, hi, Fran. Thanks, and I'm glad to be with you today. While using an AI app or chatbot seems relatively simple, what we may not realize is that the infrastructure behind it is actually quite complex. It's got to be able to handle large volumes of data, so robust data management and preparation becomes important for data accuracy and organization. AI models, especially deep learning ones, require immense computational power. It requires advanced storage solutions that are able to rapidly process data and retrieve. And when we look at our networks, there's a need for high bandwidth, low latency interconnects. Data security and compliance is crucial. Things like encryption, access controls, and breach prevention methods.
So obviously, someone with your expertise, you understand so much of the massive scale and complexities that go into AI. So for most of us who use AI every day without even thinking about it, whether it's Alexa, personalized shopping experiences, or even healthcare diagnostics, we fail to grasp this. But few realize that AI needs massive amounts of computing power and storage to work, as you mentioned. Why should business, government leaders, and everyday consumers care about AI's infrastructure?
Well, we care about the systems behind AI because it's going to dictate our performance, scale, accuracy, and security of AI applications. For businesses, there's an opportunity to drive transformative value when you can unlock insights using AI from these vast data sets and also enhance operational efficiency and innovation. Government organizations can leverage AI to improve public services, boost citizen engagement, and safeguard our data sovereignty. Everyday consumers like you and I benefit from more personalized and efficient services powered by AI. And I think when we understand the infrastructure, we can make informed decisions about our investments, adoption, and how we grow as we scale.
So you're telling me and our audience, basically, we've got a lot more reading and learning to do.
Always, yes, always learning.
Well, we'll be ready for it. And you mentioned a lot of industries, especially the government too, everyday consumers that AI impacts. And knowing that AI isn't just for tech giants anymore, there are also many businesses and government agencies that struggle with adoption. So in your experience, what's the biggest challenge organizations face when trying to scale AI, and how does infrastructure play a role in that?
I think that the biggest challenge organizations face is managing the complexity of data and computing resources and model deployment at scale. As AI moves from pilot projects to enterprise-wide implementation, we need to think about improving our capability of breaking down data silos, think about model reproducibility, and make sure that we're accommodating for the sheer computational demands of these large-scale AI workloads.
Sounds like a massive challenge, but obviously a necessary one. And you mentioned this, but AI, I imagine, is only as good as the data it's trained on. But then storing and processing that data is a whole nother challenge. So let's get into the part where Dell comes into play. How does Dell's AI optimized storage help businesses and agencies manage and analyze these enormous data sets?
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. I mean, sanitizing our data, preparing it, it's only as good, right, as what we're feeding the AI applications. So I'm going to talk about Dell PowerScale for a minute. It's our AI optimized storage that is designed to handle just the immense data demands of these AI workloads. And PowerScale provides massive scale-out NAS supporting high throughput parallel data access. And this is critical in AI model training and inferencing. PowerScale will scale from terabytes to petabytes. It ensures fast, low latency data access. And there's a really cool thing that it can do as well. It's got GPU direct storage. So we're feeding data directly to the GPUs from the storage. Built on a NVMe, very fast architecture. There's also the ability to add intelligent automated tiering so we can move data between flash drives, hybrid, and archive storage, which is going to help us optimize cost and performance. PowerScale is also the world's first Ethernet-based storage that's certified for NVIDIA DGX SuperPod. And the reason this is important, it allows for the simplicity and cost effectiveness of Ethernet as we get into these big AI environments. And will work seamlessly with tools like NVIDIA AI Enterprise, TensorFlow, and PyTorch. PowerScale supports multi-protocol access and enterprise-grade security, ransomware protection. And another cool thing is hybrid cloud capability. So really what I'm getting at is these AI applications can run on-prem, in the cloud, or even at the edge.
And I know our tech gurus out there are nerding out on all of that and just, but let's say for the average Fran out there, I mean, GPUs and all this, what does it mean for everyday consumers like us out there?
AI is very different. We're in this wave of, this new industrial revolution. And so we can't compute the way that we did before. GPUs allow us to accelerate, the massive workload demands of these AI applications. And we also, it's not just GPUs in our compute. It is also having AI specific storage that can handle that massive parallel processing that I talked about.
So storage playing a huge role here. What are some of the biggest challenges or mistakes what are the biggest mistakes organizations make when handling AI data storage?
I'd say first is data growth. Many organizations fail to deploy scalable storage up front that can handle the increasing volume of structured and unstructured data as you grow. And in tandem with that, failure, like I just mentioned, to use AI optimized storage for that parallel processing and GPU accelerated access. The problem with that, if you don't have it, it can slow training times for these models and create bottlenecks. And lastly, I'd say poor data management and organization can make a severe impact. There's got to be that automated tiering that I talked about to control costs, indexing, and metadata tagging. Otherwise, the AI models are going to get hung up. They're going to spend too much time searching for the relevant data they need.
So it seems to be the main theme here is that data hygiene from tiering to storage to processing. So it sounds like data strategy is everything to this.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Well, AI models, as you mentioned, require huge amounts of processing power, and especially as in regards to training and real-time decision making. So how do Dell's AI optimized servers help organizations run AI workloads faster and more efficiently?
So here I'm going to highlight our Dell PowerEdge server line. And what PowerEdge provides is that advanced acceleration with high CPU, GPU density, and core count from the likes of NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. And we do this in an extremely efficient form factor. Our customers are going to be given as much processing power as possible in as little data center footprint as possible. And the integration of advanced cooling techniques, which this is very important when you're processing this much data, having those advanced techniques like air and direct liquid cooling help manage the thermal design power. We've improved airflow mechanisms, including larger fans and heat sinks to help cool the other vital components like PCIe cards and memory. We also give comprehensive management and security features such as Dell's embedded iDRAC server management and dynamic hardware security options, further adding to the reliability and efficiency of our AI servers.
Incredible. And I love how you talk about too the carbon footprint and the impact of the data centers and scaling down. So I think that's going to be a big incentive for many organizations. You mentioned government as well. So I believe you were mentioning edge earlier too. So speaking of edge, knowing that AI isn't just running in these massive data centers alone, that it's now happening more at the edge from smart cities to autonomous vehicles and the like. How is Dell specifically helping agencies in the federal government, as well as various enterprises, bringing AI closer to where the decisions are made?
Yeah, AI at the edge is hot right now. Dell's satisfying this in a number of ways. When we look at our customers, they're looking at this to either improve efficiency, decision making, or say the delivery of government services. The amount of use cases are really abundant. At the edge, we're able to deploy AI for real-time computing and data analysis closer to the data source. So think of satellites or drones or IoT sensors. And there are opportunities for improving disaster response, national security, and energy to make faster, more informed decisions. There's also so many areas for automating routine decision-making and workflows. So fraud detection, benefits processing, and security screening. But I mean, really, this just scratches the surface of what's possible as government continues to adopt.
And I'm pretty sure you touched on every single industry that stands to benefit from this. Are there any in particular that you feel like would see the biggest benefits from AI at the edge right now?
I think AI at the edge is going to revolutionize a number of industries, but I'll just stick to a few. Let's start with healthcare. So Edge AI can monitor patients remotely through AI radiology and diagnostics and help with personalized predictive medicine. Secure banking. Edge AI can auto-detect abnormal spending and other unusual activities. Transportation, right? That's a big one with self-driving cars and even traffic management. And then surveillance. If we think about airport security, being able to have surveillance cameras with Edge AI can analyze those video feeds instantly and identify threats and anomalies faster. And then, another cool part is drones utilizing Edge AI to navigate complex environments autonomously and even in areas that are not connected without connectivity.
I always love connecting the tech to the real missions and how it's changing everyday lives, especially the healthcare monitoring. That definitely hits close to home for Ironbow as we do that for a number of customers and telehealth technologies. And so I can only imagine the amazing possibilities that will continue with AI at the edge. That's fantastic. Pivoting a little bit now into cybersecurity. We talked about earlier how AI is only as strong as the data feeding it. So obviously this makes security a major concern. What are the biggest AI-related cybersecurity threats that organizations need to be aware of?
Yeah, well, cybersecurity is ever evolving, and there's no shortage of bad actors that find new naughty ways of interfering. So I think as it relates to AI, a few things we need to be aware of is there's the possibility of sophisticated malware that evolves to evade detection, personalized phishing campaigns enhanced by AI, and the use of deepfakes for malicious purposes. So adversarial attacks can subtly alter input data to disrupt these AI systems, and data poisoning can inject false data into training data sets, which compromises our AI model performance. So organizations really need to think about comprehensive security strategies that have things like continuous monitoring, advanced threat detection, and strong access controls, and really a robust incident response plan.
Okay, and I know this is a really serious topic, but I just wanted to call out the naughty ways, and I don't know why the industry is not that should be an industry term. I'm obsessed, but I really hope our listeners take those best practices away because that is very important and urgent right now. Going into the Dell component then, how does Dell ensuring AI-powered organizations can stay secure while scaling their operations?
Yeah, at Dell, we do a lot to build a trusted AI environment, whether that's at the desktop, the server, the network, or storage, and the overall cyber resiliency and data protection. But I'll just name a few. Robust access control, data classification, encryption at rest and in flight, and secure data storage. We do regular audits to AI model integrity and forensic analysis utilizing AI to quickly identify patterns, anomalies, and potential indicators of attack that might have been missed by manual analysis. And then another cool thing, we'll also offer personalized security awareness training for employees based on their roles and the common threats that they might face.
Fantastic. And I understand you have a very deep background with the government and you work with federal defense and intelligence agencies. How do you see in terms of the use cases and with current customers based on what you can share? How are AI and advanced computing being adopted in these sectors?
In DoD, it's about aiming to ensure the warfighter maintains decision superiority on the battlefield. So in this realm, AI can process extensive data to forecast our military actions, enhancing situational awareness and decision making. In intelligence, they're leveraging AI to analyze satellite imagery and other data sources, enabling the detection of unusual activities. And in civilian agencies, I think it's all about citizen services and efficiency and meeting the mission. But overall, federal agencies are developing and implementing AI to improve.
And then when it comes to the challenges that the federal agencies face in adopting AI at scale, how does Dell help bridge that gap?
Agencies often struggle with outdated storage methods and data quality. And then there's also the technical expertise required, of which there can be shortages of personnel to support. And the scalability of pilot programs, being able to actually execute and implement that, getting to operational can become difficult due to inadequate infrastructure and strategic planning. There's also cost constraints, right? Looking at that, I would say overall for Dell, we have something called the Dell AI Factory, and it's a wonderful way to combat these challenges. We have the consulting services, an integrated solution of compute, storage, networking, and software coupled with a powerful third-party AI software ecosystem to design, deploy, and support federal agencies' missions. And we can also offer this in a flexible financial consumption model. So we really can take the idea of AI from an idea to innovation rather quickly.
And Dell AI Factory, I hear a lot about that now. So that is definitely becoming a hot topic. Very exciting things
For
on
sure.
there. Well, we've been talking about the infrastructure, the storage, the compute, the data, all the nuts and bolts behind AI, but we have to address the elephant in the room, which always comes up when we're talking about AI, and that's the impact on the workforce. So, friend or foe here, when it comes to seeing AI and how it impacts the workforce, because I know in your experience, you've guided a lot of teams through massive technological shifts. How do you see AI? Do you see it as more of a disruptor or an enabler for employees?
Good question. I'm glad you brought it up. Definitely a hot topic. I see AI as both a disruptor and an enabler. Fundamentally, it's going to reshape the workforce by automating repetitive tasks and augmenting human capabilities and driving innovation, as you know. The key is how organizations embrace AI as a tool for efficiency and empowerment rather than just a mere workforce replacement.
So kind of going with that theme, it's really just making us superhuman, not trying to replace us is the better way to think about it.
Right.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
reassuring, and I hope reassuring for a lot of listeners out there. It's a disruptor and an enabler, but if we can take advantage of it, it's for the best. So that's helpful for maybe those IT leaders out there wondering how to introduce AI without overwhelming their teams. What advice would you give them?
I'd say introducing AI successfully requires a strategic, phased, and people first approach so that, like we talked about, teams feel empowered rather than overwhelmed. I would start small and show some quick wins, things like IT ticketing, cybersecurity monitoring, or data analysis, and frame AI as a collaborative tool designed to enhance those roles, not replace them. Invest in AI literacy and training for our folks, and implement it gradually with clear roadmaps and truly look for trusted AI partners who've done this before and can step you through it.
Amazing. I think you just laid out the AI playbook that every organization should take advantage of. So that's a good nugget of wisdom. So looking into your crystal ball now, Rhonda, and 5 years in advance, what advancements in AI infrastructure, be it storage, compute, or networking, do you think will have the biggest impact?
Well, the crystal ball tells me that it's going to be critical for driving faster model training. As we add more and more data and use cases for it, we need to also think about lower latency and greater scale. For AI optimized compute, I look at next generation GPUs and specialized AI chips, on device AI processing. For storage, what's going to reduce bottlenecks and the data transfer from storage to GPU? Automated data management. And in networking, AI optimized fabrics are going to be a thing, optimizing that AI pipeline efficiency. We're seeing low latency 5G can enable real-time AI inferencing at the edge. And then lastly, automated AI pipelines where ML ops and AI ops can be invoked to help organizations deploy, scale, and monitor AI models with minimal manual intervention.
Amazing. I mean, just a huge increase in efficiencies. It sounds like removal of bottlenecks. Exciting things on the horizon. So, in terms of agencies that haven't yet built a strong AI infrastructure but want to, what's that one critical first step they should take?
AI is only as powerful as the data it learns from. So ensuring high quality, well organized, and AI ready data is essential before investing in any AI infrastructure. Break down those data silos and identify and centralize your structured and unstructured data across systems. Then you can move into deploying AI ready solutions and data management.
That sounds a lot more manageable when you break it down that way. So lastly, we talked about everything from, we've said it, I think, over and over, AI is only as good as the data you give it and the training. So I think that's essential. I mean, to the cybersecurity component, the compute, the storage, the scale, tiering. If there's one thing you want listeners to remember about AI's infrastructure and its impact on the future, what would that be?
In the years ahead, AI is going to transform every industry from national security to healthcare to enterprise automation, but only if the right infrastructure is in place. AI's future isn't just about smarter models, it's about the infrastructure that powers them. So organizations that prioritize this and build scalable, secure, and optimized AI infrastructure today will be the ones driving the breakthroughs of tomorrow.
I love that. Driving the breakthroughs of tomorrow. I think that is an excellent note to end on. Rhonda Johnson, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. Thank you for breaking down how Dell's AI infrastructure is powering the future of innovation. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform for more insights. To learn more about Ironbow and Dell's partnership, visit ironbow.com/Dell Solutions. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.